Hey, it's Deanne Pearson here, and I am talking to you about being deliberate about your career. Today I'm talking about resumes. Now, recently I was helping somebody with a resume over the phone because she realized that she wasn't getting the traction she wanted, and her skills were really good, but she was just missing a little something. So she read a couple of the words or sentences on there to me, and I decided to just help her a little bit. It just took very, very little. So she said, "Oh my gosh, I knew you were the person to help me. It's like resume magic." Oh, so my dogs are barking. Resume magic. She said, "You always have that magic touch for what needs to happen." So I decided, why not take that word magic and turn it into a tool to help people remember what their resume should look like. So first of all, there is the M word, magic, starts with M. Make a great start. Make a good impression at the very beginning. Start with the right font. Don't go below an 11-point font. Start with a nice header with your name and contact information, and probably a summary and a list of skills that are important to the job you're applying for. Those may be technical skills, those may be sales skills, whatever's in your field. And a career summary is kind of like a billboard or a short commercial for who you are. So it doesn't have to be really long, and I have fill in the blank kind of things to help you with that, and we work on that together sometimes, because sometimes that can really freak people out, but it doesn't have to. So make a good impression. And then magic, A. A is for accomplishments. Now on there, you really want to get some accomplishments. You want to get some results, some actions you've taken that are meaningful in your field and to the person who's interviewing you. Now the word responsible for, and I did this, I did that, or reusing the word develop too many times can really make a boring resume. So you really want to come up with some strong verbs, verbs that are memorable, like I spearheaded, or I created or originated this new process within my department, and it became something that the whole company started doing after a while. Or I found a new territory in sales that hadn't been explored before and was able to establish us in that market. Something like that. And those may not be your accomplishments, but you see what I'm saying here? Use those accomplishments to prove yourself, what you've done in your previous positions, and really drive it home for them in words that they will understand and they will remember. No more of what I did, what I do, that sort of thing. I call that deja do, the same stuff all over again. So really stand out. G is for get some numbers in there. Get some numbers in there. Maybe money, number of clients, number of territories, maybe something risk that you've avoided, or it could be something you can count on your fingers and toes. So that could be something like, if you were in IT audit, you could talk about processes, procedures, repeatable business cases that you have established. And those are things that you can count on your fingers and toes, right? It doesn't have to be dollars, and it doesn't have to be a number of people. Could be the number of people on your team, though. Think about that. So something that makes what you're saying real. And sometimes that's numbers, because numbers are facts. Facts make us believe and help us visualize things. I is for leave a great impression. When you get through all the jobs on your resume, make sure you leave with a good impression. You might want to finish up with a technical publications or addendums, or you might want to finish up with things that you've initiated on your own. It could be volunteer work, it could be the classes you've taken on your own, or your degree. If it's been more than 3 years since you got your degree would go at the bottom, or your advanced education would go at the bottom. But break it down and tell them why that's important. Tell them what classes you've taken, what initiatives you've taken. Now, I wouldn't put stuff in there at the very bottom that's too personal. If you play tennis, that's great. Somebody else may play tennis. But I don't know that I would always we used to put like all kinds of personal information, right? Don't do that anymore, because people don't want to know too much about you, because there's just such a risk. They become risk avoidant about maybe being perceived to having a bias for interviewing you because that was on your resume, or not interviewing you or not making the offer because the information was too political, religious, too much about you. So memorable is one thing, impressing is one thing, but don't get too personal, okay? The last thing is contact information. MAGIC, MAGIC, stands for contact information. Now this sounds kind of silly, but you have a beautiful header at the top, with your name and all the contact information and all that, and you can go above 11-point font for that. At the bottom, I would like to see on every page of your resume or CV, your name, a way to contact you, and the page number. That way, if they print it out and they drop it in the hallway or they're trying to pass it out to a group to review, because some people still use paper, they're not always just emailed. You want them to be able to put that package back together and be able to present you, the whole package, the whole CD, the whole shebang. So that's my talk about resumes and my way of thinking about how they can be magic or not. If you want this list for yourself, please put in the comments below the word magic and I will get my notes to you, this little cheat sheet. Thanks so much and have a great day.